And welcome, family. It's Chi Vital, and I'm back with another tool for your toolkit. What's up? What's up? Thanks for being here. Welcome, House of Chi, hashtag HOC, hashtag Fairy Gangs in the building. Shouts out to the gang. Today, I'm keeping it pretty light, but keeping it real as always. Okay? So, you all have been pretty busy. You're getting in tune with your Saturn work. I'm not even going to talk specifically to that work. I am definitely going to address some things that are useful for not only the very experienced in spirituality, but also the newbie. It's really important. By newbie, I mean just new to the idea of what it's like to have your own practice, your own discovery of who you are when it comes to your relationship with spirit in any way that you design it to be. All right, so let's get to it. Thumbs up this video and let's have a discussion. You may have some really important questions, so if you stick around, we'll get to them. Okay? I'm sorry if you didn't get any notifications, but let's go. So, what is spirituality? First, that needs to be defined by the individual. What is spirituality? Why is it such a exciting frontier when someone discovers that there is this other aspect to their practice or their belief system or their faith system that is beyond what they've been introduced to as a child? Okay, most people are introduced to spirituality via religion. And so there's a difference in the sense that religion represents a construct that has a set form, a set rules, a set way of how it's practiced, certain energies you work with, certain energies you don't. You'll define what is the ultimate creator in your life, what if there is a creator in your life outside of you, all of those things. But religion in itself is a system. Most people, when they decide that they are spiritual versus religious, they made the distinction between them being a part of a construct that they once believed in to now delve into something that is coming together for them through their curiosity, their exploration of what is really out there. But what I want to point out is that moment in which an individual decides that they're going to work in spirituality versus religion is that introduction doesn't happen from the outside in. Everyone who hears a voice that says, there must be something more. There must be something else. There must be something. I think I know what it is I want to see. I want to discover. That inclination comes from within. That is one of the most defining, bold signs of what is the difference between spirituality and religion. That is one of the main things. It is the beginning of a journey that comes from within. The thing that most people over here where we live in the West don't understand or really give credit to. I want to say that I don't think that we give as much credit to or esteem or value to what it means to reach a point of spirituality, because we don't understand that the direction that spirituality sends us is in the direction towards mastery. I'm going to repeat that. And you may want to write this down so you can review your own journey and see what I'm talking about. Okay? Spirituality introduces you to the introduction to a mastery class of life. It's no longer something that has been automated in your life. It is something that you are now engaging on to understand and unfold yourself, open yourself up, which makes you supremely vulnerable. Vulnerability in itself is not necessarily a weakness. However, it does make you prone to things that you did not know before. That is what is so scary for some people with spirituality. But at the same time, that is what is so empowering about spirituality. Because if you are able to find that space and continue on a journey that is going to open you up that way, that means that you are going to be encouraged with the right forces around you to learn how to protect that space you're in, so that while you're in a space of high vulnerability, you remain safe and alive so that you can gain all there is that your spirit came here to learn to reach your optimal purpose in this life. Not your most positive purpose in life, not your most negative purpose in life, not your most light purpose in life, not your most dark purpose in life. You have your own script. So here is the thing that gets like, okay, you're going to sound like you're contradicting yourself, Chi. And here's the other part. Although the path to mastery through spirituality, mastery being mastery of yourself, getting to truly know who you are, what you came here to be, right? Although that process is being guided from within as far as the timing and what is for you, what's not for you in that learning process, right? There still needs to be a level of structure for how that happens. The difference is the structure is not put on you. The structure is found by you that works for you, and through a mixture of humility and confidence, you'll be able to unlock tools in whatever systems you decide to open yourself up to. That is why on the journey to spirituality, on the beginning of it, even while you're in it, there are things that you want to be clear of. Arrogance from after leaving a religious system, moving into spirituality, is dangerous, because your quest to understand who you are within, as vulnerable as it makes you, arrogance can lead you into places blindly that can lead you into danger zones. Because while you just came into, I'm going to make this decision to take this master class in living and creating my life, there are others on the journey at different places in the journey. There are others who have been in that space for such a long time that they have mastered it and they're actively living at a mastered level. There are people who have mastered picking up certain tools and haven't mastered other aspects of how to and when to use those tools. And so without wisdom, they may come across someone that is rather a baby in their journey, on their journey, and come across arrogance or come across what's perceived as disrespect and use their tools in such a way that you find yourself, if that is you, if you find that, okay, I'm a little arrogant, I have an attitude, I feel like I know everything, right? And have taken on the mindset that, well, if this journey is mine, like whatever I know my spirit tells me is fine. There's so many things that have to be learned so that you refine that voice. Okay? I consider the voice of your spirit and your intuition to be like the voice of a baby when you just start on this journey. A baby, when they start hearing the sounds of their voice, they just enjoy the mere fact that this thing can make a sound. And this thing makes people look towards them. And then they learn that if those sounds start to make certain patterns, then they get a different response. Then they learn how to put together the words in a formula, which is like a sentence, and they can make requests. And then they can make demands. And then you see how it builds. The voice of the baby builds. The spirit gets clearer. Knowing what to say, when to say it, how to say it, that would be the voice of your spirit. You get what I'm saying? So while you're learning how to use and communicate with your spirit on this journey, understand that the same way a baby doesn't understand that when they're screaming, that people are more not inclined to be of assistance when they expect them to learn how to speak a certain way. Don't we say that to children? Don't yell at me, use your voice. It's the same way you'll have spirits that may be acting up in your life when you get to that part, right? And you're like, wait, I hear this voice speaking, but this voice here is giving me kind of guidance that anytime I listen to that one, I kind of end up in trouble. I end up hurt or something happens. So then I need to train that voice. Because the other thing is that you don't only come with one voice or energies that are with you at birth, nor will it stay singular or just you and this one guardian energy your whole life. The more you open up to and invite energies, the more voices and messages and ways and languages in which these energies will speak to you. So what I'm saying about Spirituality 101 is to come into this with a sense of curiosity and allow, at the point in where you have not fully addressed what fear looks like, allow your hesitance to just give you a sense of caution, but do not get stagnant or stop, freeze in the midst of it, because you can miss out on so many gifts that come along with the decision to master yourself. But you don't ignore things, okay? Never have someone tell you to ignore anything. However, your level of discernment comes with practice. It comes with practice. I don't want to be too absolute about anything and say no one has perfect discernment ever until life has helped them to refine the practice of discernment. But most people need to have a practice of, they feel something, they're more careful about moving forward, and then they're able to see. It's just like sometimes you need to get tapped by the car through you being careful as opposed to getting hit by a car, because then you don't survive the information that was coming through that hint of take your time. There's a difference. You're moving forward too quickly, or you're moving forward at a pace that is being communicated to you through gentle warming up. All right. Today we're moving to Scorpio season. And when I talk about the direction inward being a level of mastery, it's also getting to know your supernatural force, your gift, your power that is specific to you. Right? The same way I mentioned a child is excited by the mere fact that their voice makes some kind of thing that goes into the ears and people look around. It's the same excitement that you'll feel in spirituality where you're like, I drew my first yantra today and I saw it move when I was meditating. Or I did my first set of mantras and I remembered my dreams. Or I lit this candle and I worked with this prayer and someone or something showed up immediately to confirm that my work was received. That aspect of spirituality when you're coming in is so rewarding. It's so exciting. Okay? But when you're in a master level class, you know that the material is going to challenge you in some way. And challenge is where you really put your will towards what the journey is. And then you look for tools along the way that will be revealed to you that can assist with some more foresight to shine light on things that you may not see and to know when you should just totally be trusting that you'll be fine, you'll go through, you'll be fine, you're going to grow through. All right? Let me know if you follow. Here's the flip side. Okay? Our people are accustomed to a belief system that says struggle or hard times are necessary. All right? Without further description. And so a lot of times we willingly accept trials and tribulations and trials and tribulations and trials and tribulations, one after the other, after the other, after the other. With like sufferation, thinking, well, I guess like I have to go through this. When you're moving to the level of spirituality, if you find yourself in consistent discomfort, then it is wise to look into it. It is wise to look into why things are a certain way and not just merely accept that because something has to be challenging that you need to struggle. There's a difference. Because absolutely, yes, there are ebbs and flows and there will be challenges or what I call opportunities for growth, but they don't always need to equate to sufferation. So if on your journey you find that you're suffering in life and everything else you know for a fact you have in place, look into it. Don't just whatever, I'm just going with the flow and things are just the way they are and I'm down and I'm out and I don't know what's going on. Those are moments where you also are being tried to see how powerful do you believe you are in creating your circumstances. If I told you to sign up for my religion and said, do you accept that you will suffer? Just straight up. If I say to you, do you accept that you will suffer? How willing are you to hand over your right to have joy and bliss and positive changes and reasonable challenges in your life to totally blindly accept I'm going to suffer. Would you accept that? If I just said that? Let me see how many of y'all would accept that. Hey, do this. It's cool, it's powerful, you're gonna learn everything. You gotta suffer. So when you're doing work and things are gonna be challenging, ask, what does that mean exactly? Challenging. Because some people will sell you challenge, but they're really selling you sufferation in exchange for your need to rely on them, in exchange for you thinking you're getting more powerful because you are like going through hell all the time. Your whatever description of hell is in your life, right? And so you want to be mindful of that as well. So I'm only sharing with you spirituality 101 because this is the introduction to a life and a journey that has many dips and highs, But the way that you navigate is through questioning, getting feedback, doing work. Once you find someone, a group, a place to find your center and you feel like, okay, this is a space for me to follow instructions, do your work, and trust that if you ever get into a space, it doesn't matter because a lot of people will leave one religion and join another. There's nothing necessarily wrong with that. But if you leave one thing, then you know you can leave another. So when you're on the path of spirituality, it's not a tag. It is your path, it is your journey. So that may include a new system that you want to follow, specific to a religion, specific to a culture. And if on that journey you find that within that culture things are off and not working to your benefit, allow yourself the respect to your guides and your spirits when you feel like it's off for you. Because it may not be the whole culture or system you need to throw away. And this goes across the board. I will never tell a Christian you should leave Christianity for Islam because Islam is better. I would first ask them if the type of Christianity or the house in which they want to be in their Christianity is working to their benefit or working against them. Have they ever decided to look around and see if there are other places where they can maintain the pieces that they really resonate with and still be in the same system because they're familiar with it? Or do they feel like they definitely want to move into the direction of another system? And then keep in mind and keep your eyes open that in the next system, there's always a hierarchy, a structure. You're working with Saturn, you're learning about structure. There has to be some type of structure. If there's no structure, it can just fall apart. You don't want to do surgery and not know where certain organs are supposed to be at or how they're supposed to function. So if you're opening up yourself to spirituality, you want to find something that tells you which place to go first and how to deal with that aspect of the self. Am I making sense? The next thing is that this aspect of this war between what's light and what's dark, and the fear mongering between you having to, you got to choose one or the other, or if you're this one, then this one's automatically out to get you, or you see what I'm saying? That in itself comes out of the competition that religions have with each other. When you're doing work spiritually, it is not about a competition. It is about Tetris. What pieces line up in the right way so you can build and knock out things and try to keep yourself as clear as possible. When the pieces line up, the blocks disappear. When the pieces line up, the blocks disappear. You got me? All right. So I'm glad for a lot of you for being here, for taking a leap into what is spirituality, because it's definitely a sweet spot in life where you can feel extremely empowered, extremely powerful, extremely confident. You can even feel cocky because you've decided as an adult to be who you truly are. And whatever environment you're in, you will see very quickly which parts of that environment are for your discovery and which parts of your environment are scared of your discovery. And from there, quick, fast, you can make sure you're in the right spaces at the right time. Okay? Don't be too quick to not ask for help when you need it. If you need guidance, you need guidance. Understand that there's always this exchange, whether it's time and energy in exchange for finances, or in exchange for materials, or in exchange for service. There's always a give and take. There has to be a balance. There has to be. And for those who are willingly going to do the most for so-called nothing, their spirits will eat, and you don't know how they will eat. So it's best to make sure that you are open to consciously giving something in exchange for what you receive, and not accumulating so much debt to anyone because of your belief that you didn't have it, or someone should just be giving. Always know that when things are out of balance, it will get balanced by force, whether you like it or not. And so these are just some simple principles I wanted to share with you all as we open up into Scorpio season and the sun is shining on this deep transformation and occult energy of discovering the unknown. Peace, love, and much bliss to you all. I'll see y'all later on.